The scene where Prince Akeem steps down from the luxurious kingdom of Zamunda to chase true love in Queens is etched into the memory of millions. It's magical, funny, and unforgettable, a moment that made Coming to America one of the most beloved films of all time. But behind that shimmering fantasy lies a reality far heavier than the movie ever revealed. Many of the stars who made us laugh, cheer, and fall in love carried silent battles, painful childhoods, private scandals, brutal illnesses, and some left this world far too suddenly. Today, we look beyond the comedy and the crown. We honor the legends who brought Zamunda to life, including the ones who are no longer with us. Their stories are deeper, darker, and far more human than the roles they played. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a tribute to the icons who shaped our screens.
James Earl Jones, the voice that rose from silence. James Earl Jones as King Jaffe Joffer was a moment of pure cinematic royalty. Powerful, commanding, unforgettable. But the man behind that thunderous voice began life in heartbreaking quiet. Born in Mississippi and abandoned by both parents, young James grew up in Michigan consumed by silence. A severe stutter left him unable to speak for years. Racism, shame, and loneliness shaped his childhood until one high school teacher discovered something buried beneath the pain, a voice of incredible depth. That moment transformed everything. The boy who once couldn't speak became the voice of Darth Vader, the wisdom of Mufasa, and one of Broadway's greatest kings. But glory didn't erase struggle. His first marriage ended quietly. His second wife, actress Cecilia Hart, died of cancer in 2016, a loss he rarely discussed. In his final years, Jones lived privately while battling diabetes and respiratory complications. On September 9, 2024, James Earl Jones passed away at home at age 93, surrounded by family. Tributes poured in, calling him a national treasure and a man who reshaped American arts. With an estimated net worth of $40 million, his legacy is far richer. He proved that the world's most powerful voice can come from the deepest silence.
John Amos, America's dad with a heartbreaking final chapter. John Amos brought warmth, humor, and grounded authenticity to Cleo McDowell, the hardworking father who just wanted the best for his daughter. But behind his steady smile was a life marked by both triumph and deep family pain. Born in Newark, New Jersey, John fought his way from struggling athlete to acclaimed actor, later earning national respect with Roots, Good Times, and dozens of TV roles. Yet, his final years were overshadowed by tragedy. In 2023, his daughter publicly accused John's own son of isolating and financially abusing him, triggering a state investigation that shocked fans who always saw Amos as the symbol of Black fatherhood. On August 21, 2024, John Amos passed away from congestive heart failure at age 84. Even his daughter didn't learn of his death until nearly 2 weeks later. He left behind a net worth of around $3 million, modest, but earned through decades of consistent, respectable work. His legacy is simple but powerful. He played fathers the way real fathers should be, protective, wise, and deeply human.
Madge Sinclair, the queen who carried pain behind the crown. Madge Sinclair's portrayal of Queen Aeolian was elegance personified, warm eyes, soft strength, and a regal presence that made her unforgettable. But her real life was marked by hardship far from the royal image she projected. Born in Jamaica, she survived a divorce, financial struggles, and the burden of raising 2 children alone while trying to build an acting career. Slowly, she rose through the ranks with standout performances in Roots, Trapper John M.D., and ultimately earned an Emmy for Gabriel's Fire. In 1982, her life changed again. She was diagnosed with leukemia. But instead of retreating, Madge kept working for 13 long years. Her final role was symbolic, voicing Sarabi, the mother of Simba, in The Lion King. On December 20th, 1995, she passed at just 57. Her ashes were scattered back home in Jamaica, where she was later honored with the Order of Distinction. With a net worth of $1 to $2 million, she left behind something far more valuable, a legacy of grace under fire.
Calvin Lockhart lit up Coming to America as Colonel Izzy, charming, sharp, and impossible to forget. But his journey to fame was anything but easy. Born in the Bahamas, he moved to New York at 18 with no money, no support, and no connections. He drove taxis, built furniture, and hustled nonstop just to survive. While auditioning for roles Hollywood refused to give black actors. That rejection pushed him to Europe, where he finally broke through with Cotton Comes to Harlem and Let's Do It Again. Calvin lived boldly. 3 marriages, 2 sons, and a life spent chasing art instead of comfort. In 2006, he married Jennifer Miles in an emotional ceremony where his son walked her down the aisle. Months later, tragedy struck. On March 29, 2007, he died from complications of a stroke at 72 years old. His net worth, about $1 million, didn't reflect the talent he possessed. Fans remember him as a magnetic screen presence who demanded to be seen in an industry that tried to overlook him.
Louis Anderson lit up Coming to America as Maurice, the cheerful fast food worker dreaming of becoming manager. His innocence and optimism made audiences laugh, but Louis's real life was shaped by sorrow far heavier than his screen persona. Born in Minnesota as the 10th of 16 children, he survived poverty, an abusive alcoholic father, and the deaths of 5 siblings at birth. The chaos of his childhood pushed him into comedy, where he turned pain into laughter. He became a TV icon, host of Family Feud, creator of Life with Louie, and later an Emmy winner for his unforgettable performance as Christine in Baskets. But Louis hid secrets. In the 1990s, he paid hush money to stop an extortion plot threatening to expose sensitive details about his personal life, a scandal that ended only after an FBI chase. Privately, he fought blood cancer for nearly 20 years. On January 21, 2022, Louis Anderson passed away in Las Vegas at age 68. His net worth, around $10 million, came from decades of relentless work, but his true legacy is deeper, proof that even the funniest people can carry the heaviest pain. Don Amish's cameo as Mortimer Duke in Coming to America was brief, but it electrified longtime fans, a callback to his villainous role in Trading Places. Yet behind that joyful moment was a career that had risen, fallen, and risen again in dramatic fashion. A superstar of the 1930s and 1940s, Don was once so famous that his name became slang for the telephone after he played Alexander Graham Bell. But fame faded. For 3 decades, Don drifted through minor TV roles and near invisibility. Then came his extraordinary comeback, Trading Places, Cocoon, and an Oscar win that restored his legendary status. Still, his personal life was complicated. Though married for more than 50 years, he and his wife lived estranged for years before her death, so distant that he didn't attend her funeral. On December 6, 1993, Don Amish died at age 85 from prostate cancer. His estimated net worth of $10 million reflected both his golden era fame and his late career revival. His comeback remains one of Hollywood's most inspiring second acts. Ralph Bellamy returned to screens in Coming to America as Randolph Duke, completing the iconic Duke brothers duo. But his appearance wasn't just a cameo. It was a tribute to a man whose career spanned nearly 70 years. Born in Chicago, Ralph ran away at 15 to join a traveling theater troupe. By the 1930s, he became Hollywood's favorite nice guy who never gets the girl, earning an Oscar nomination for The Awful Truth. When film roles dried up in the 1950s, he reinvented himself on Broadway, winning a Tony Award for playing President Franklin D. Roosevelt in Sunrise at Campobello. His personal life was turbulent. He married 4 times before finding lasting peace with his final wife, Alice Murphy. On November 29, 1991, Ralph Bellamy passed away at age 87 from chronic lung disease. His $5 million net worth couldn't capture the dignity he brought to every role. Ralph left behind a legacy of grace, professionalism, and one of cinema's most beloved character careers.
Ellen Hawley appeared only briefly in Coming to America, but her life story carried more drama than any script. Born in New York City in 1931, she became a groundbreaking figure when she starred in One Life to Live as Carla Gray, the first black actress to lead a daytime soap opera in America. Her on-screen kiss with a white doctor shocked the nation. ABC's phone lines were flooded with protests from viewers who didn't know she was black. Despite her fame, Hawley battled constant discrimination. Producers reduced her role, cut her pay, and ultimately removed her from the show she helped make iconic, an emotional wound she described as a cut that never closed. She never married and had no children, living with the weight of a career built on painful firsts. In her later life, she stepped away from Hollywood and worked quietly as a librarian in New York. Ellen Hawley passed away on December 6, 2023, at age 92 after a long battle with illness. Alone, but leaving behind a legacy that paved the way for countless black actresses. Her estimated net worth was around $1 million, yet her true impact was priceless.
Eddie Murphy, the crown prince of comedy who survived Hollywood's hardest storms. At just 27, Eddie Murphy became Prince Akeem Jaffer, the role that helped define modern comedy. Charming, idealistic, and unforgettable, Akeem turned Murphy into global royalty. But Eddie's real story was far from a fairy tale. His father was murdered when Eddie was 8. He spent years in foster care. Comedy wasn't just talent, it was escape. Murphy skyrocketed. Beverly Hills Cop, Shrek, The Nutty Professor, Delirious. At his peak, no comedian on earth was bigger. But fame came with storms. In the 1990s, he faced backlash for homophobic jokes and later became embroiled in a scandal involving a transgender sex worker, a tabloid circus that damaged his wholesome public image. His personal life was equally turbulent. 10 children, multiple partners, a divorce, and a paternity dispute with Melanie Brown of the Spice Girls. Yet his comeback was legendary. Dreamgirls earned him a Golden Globe and Oscar nomination, reminding the world of his unmatched talent. Today, at 63, Eddie Murphy remains a Hollywood titan with an estimated net worth of $200 million, a survivor, a reinventor, and the beating heart of Coming to America.
Arsenio Hall, the late-night king who disappeared for his son. Arsenio Hall brought Semi to life with razor-sharp humor, effortless charm, and perfect chemistry with Eddie Murphy. But behind the laughs was a story of sacrifice and quiet heartbreak. After the cancellation of the Arsenio Hall show in 1994, he didn't just fade from Hollywood, he walked away. Industry pressure, political backlash, and endless rumors pushed him into isolation. Some claimed he was blacklisted for giving a platform to marginalized voices, including outspoken black artists and LGBTQ guests during the height of the AIDS crisis. But Hall later revealed the truth. He left to raise his newborn son as a single father. Fame could wait. Fatherhood couldn't. He reemerged in 2012, winning Celebrity Apprentice and donating $250,000 to the Magic Johnson Foundation. In 2021, he reunited with Eddie Murphy in Coming to America, reminding audiences why he once ruled late-night TV. Now 69, Arsenio Hall leaves quietly, rarely appearing in public, but still deeply respected. His estimated net worth of $16 million reflects success, but his legacy reflects heart, loyalty, and integrity.
The journey from Zamunda to Queens will always feel magical, funny, warm, and full of heart. But while the film gave us joy, the real lives behind it were far more complicated. Many of the stars who made us laugh carried private battles that the world never saw. Some faced illness, some heartbreak, some died far too soon. Yet every one of them left behind a legacy that still shines today. Their stories remind us of something important. Even the brightest characters can come from the heaviest realities. And every actor we admire is a human being first, fragile, resilient, and deserving of remembrance. Now it's your turn. Which moment from Coming to America stayed with you the most? And which star do you remember most fondly? Share your thoughts below. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another tribute to the legends who shaped our screens.